Hello everyone, welcome to this session, this CRM Summit session, explaining the differences between Sage 200 Integrated CRM and Qnect 200. We'll also be covering, obviously, the differences with the now retired Sage Connected CRM, or retired from sales, should I say, Connected CRM. Now, there are three main differences generally within CRM integrations that get influenced by any kind of integration that comes into the product. The primary one is companies, and obviously the company section has the various lookups for the different companies to do addresses and create, etc. From there's obviously quotes and orders. Can we create quotes and orders? How does that work? Pushing it across, that kind of thing. And finally, there's just the general functionality of how the product works with the various settings and stuff like that from within the system. So I'm just going to take a very quick look initially, and this is a semi-short presentation, but we do have time for a question session at the end for people that want to ask questions. So if I just show you the differences with the company. Okay, so you'll see just on this slide, we've got the integrated CRM, then the connected CRM, in brackets EMBU, as some people know it, and then obviously Qnect 200 on the side. So we just look through some of the various key sort of top level features on here that we can look at. We've got the ability to sync customers. Well, that's obviously in all three products. That's probably one of the key features within a CRM system. Sync suppliers. The integrated CRM, the older CRM does. Obviously, the EMBU connector doesn't do suppliers. Qnect 200 does do suppliers, as you'd expect from a new integration. Creating companies from Sage CRM to Sage 200. So the integrated CRM does this on a synchronization. So you have to wait up to 5 minutes sometimes to actually be able to run that sync and see the company appear in Sage 200. And this becomes quite an issue really when you've got customers on the phone. You may be creating a new account. We've got some customers that create new accounts on the phone. They have to wait up to 5 minutes for the order to be placed for a form launching or something. The connected CRM now just works, but just does customers only straight away. Qnect 200 allows you to create customers and suppliers on the fly immediately whenever you like within Sage 200. The next bit I need to explain, only one-to-one company linking, integrated and connected CRM, but not for Qnect 200. And what I mean by this is the ability to purely have a one CRM company to one Sage 200 account. So you may, for example, have a Sage 200 account for GBP and a US dollar and the euro for the same company. And in, for example, integrated CRM, that would create 3 different companies within the Sage CRM system. Whereas actually, they are all the same company. It's just a different linked Sage 200 customer record that they're linked to. So when we wrote Qnect 200, we decided that you have one company in CRM, and depending, it's irrelevant really how many Sage 200 accounts there are. If it's a company in CRM, that's what you need. You shouldn't have to worry about having all your people or settings against each individual CRM company just because it's a one-to-one link. However, we have been asked to enhance or change our system to allow it to have one-to-one linking in the same way as the other 2 products do. And this is partly for backwards compatibility, so that customers can actually start to use the product how they're used to using it if they migrate from ours, from the Sage ones to ours. So we are going to be bringing that into the product soon. However, the one below is one-to-many company linking. So this, as I just described, allows us to have one CRM company linking to many Sage 200 companies and many Sage 200 data sets and even suppliers at the same time. So you can actually have your one CRM company that you deal with, you have your opportunities against, you have your people, you have your addresses, and at that point, that can then link to whatever Sage 200 customer or supplier records in whatever systems you like, based on how you want to process the orders. So we support that functionality. All 3 products support multiple Sage 200 data sets, the ability to link to more than one Sage 200 trading company. For syncing addresses and contacts, integrated and connected sync both of those, and That's great. However, Qnect 200 at the moment only syncs from Sage 200 to Sage CRM. So any addresses added, any products, any addresses added, any people added in 200 will come across into CRM. It doesn't go the other way at the moment, and this is semi by design. We're working on Sage to survey the base. So you should have a survey come out at some point, finding out how they want that to work. And the reason is behind this that the if you can imagine having a one-to-many link, and we're in CRM, we update the company address and it's linked to 10 different trading companies. What ones did it update? And then if you update a trading company, how does that update back to Sage 200? So rather than just going ahead and doing what we think and what Sage thinks, we're going to be putting a survey out soon with some suggested options of how you think it's best to work. And then we'll take that feedback and build that into the product. And it might be that we change that option based on some switches or something. However, for a lot of our customers, we don't actually find that's too much of a problem, because when you're creating sales orders, etc., in CRM, the delivery address in CRM goes across into the delivery address field on the Sage 200 order record. And a lot of the time, actually, a lot of the contacts that you would have in CRM, you wouldn't necessarily have in your finance system. You don't necessarily need to have all of the salespeople or a customer service person in your Sage 200 system. You would need them in CRM, but you wouldn't necessarily want it to always do that. So we're just gonna find out the best way we think of doing that from within the base. So you should have a survey coming out at some point soon. If we just quickly look at the quote and order differences between the two products, a bit of a bigger slide, this one. Integrated and connected CRM don't, but Qnect 200 actually allows you to look up live from within the CRM screens how much stock is available per product. That's not just in a general lookup. You can actually look up how much stock's available per product and per warehouse directly from within the quote and order lines as you're adding a quote. So when you select a product, underneath it shows you the available stock in total. And then if you want to, as you select warehouses underneath, it will show you how much of that particular product is in each one of those warehouses. All three products have live Sage 200 transaction lookup, so you can look up live order details, etc., etc. However, one of the problems with the integrated CRM, one of the benefits of integrated CRM over the connected CRM, but also one of its issues was around synchronization of products and prices, making sure that the products and prices were in the CRM system so that you can use standard quotes and orders. That caused some issues with syncing. So in the connected world, the idea was with the Embu connector to not use quotes and orders and use custom screens and do live lookups into Sage 200. But obviously, for those of you that have used it, that had its own issues. So we've decided to do a sort of hybrid of the two across all of the product. So we actually do synchronize products and prices, but we also synchronize pricing lists, tax codes, warehouses, warehouse holdings, or warehouse stock availabilities into Sage CRM. So all of those things are available, and therefore facilitating, as you can see below, standard Sage CRM quote and order functionality. So you can completely use Sage CRM quotes and orders, no need to do any screen popping specifically, standard CRM out of the box, and then post those orders across. We've also got some functionality though within Qnect 200 to be able to create batch order processing. So what this means is that I can create an order and I can say, I want this order to go across to Sage 200, but I as a user don't have rights to create it. I could put it into a processing queue. And then someone that does have rights to create it can go into a list, see all of the orders in that list that have been requested to be processed across, check them all, click a button, batch process them all across into Sage 200, maybe at the end of the day, or maybe you want an admin, accounts admin, or someone to do that. So that has a functionality in Qnect 200. Syncing quotes, integrated CRM does sync quotes, connected CRM doesn't because it live looks up. Qnect 200 doesn't synchronize quotes at the moment. The reason being that we use the Sage 200 API to connect, and the Sage 200 API does not have quote functionality at the moment, but it will do with the new web client that's coming out. However, we do synchronize orders. So because we use the order CRM, tables, CRM order tables, we obviously do synchronize in and out in both directions. So any orders that are updated are created in Sage 200 or updated in Sage 200, i.e. manually or created via maybe a web shop import into 200, will actually appear, if you want them to, in Sage 200, in Sage CRM as an actual order record. So you can use them for reporting and analysis and escalations and that kind of stuff. We also have the functionality to do live lookups into the discount pricing structure within Sage 200. So we can click a button, it will go away, and based on the quantity, the person, the company and the product, calculate their discounted pricing and apply that into the line item price in Sage CRM. We can also specify in Qnect 200, but not in the other two integrations, the line level tax code and warehouse per order line. So you can actually say this line has a tax code 5%, this line has 0%, this line has 20%. If you don't specify, it defaults it to the default tax rate set in the standard config. If we look at the ability to quote prospects without Sage 200, and what I mean by this is actually creating a Sage 200 account. You can do this with integrated CRM. It's obviously trickier with connected because everything's live looked up. So you can't really do it without having a 200 account in Sage 200 for that prospect record. But in Qnect 200, you can use all of the standard CRM functionality because the prices, etc., in there, quote them at any point, convert that customer or prospect to a customer, push the customer into 200, and then push the quote into an order into Sage 200. We also, if you look at the Sage 200 account specified at order level, one of the things that we think is a benefit to Qnect 200 over Sage's other two integrations is that we actually specify at order level, not at opportunity level, the Sage 200 customer account that you're going to be pasting that order into. So you can have an opportunity for a project and create a load of orders for people, but actually posting each one of those orders into a different Sage 200 prospecting account, so Sage 200 customer account, rather than just all assuming it's the company that the opportunity is against. It gives you a bit more flexibility around that, how that works, but it does automatically obviously filter that down to default to the company that the opportunity is for, but you can change it. It becomes more prevalent as well when you're using the one-to-many functionality, because we can then actually have up to, you could say you've got 5 different companies that are linked to the CRM company, and at that point, when you're creating an order, specify what of those 5 companies you want to place that order against. Okay, the final section we'll look at is the general differences section. So within here, there's a few general differences. Ongoing development. There is no plans for ongoing development on the integrated CRM or the connected CRM, but there is obviously ongoing development for Qnect 200. A slight caveat is that Sage are supporting the products going forwards in their current version. So if there are any technical reasons, such as TLS changes that are happening in Sage 200 and TLS changes that are happening and coming out within Sage CRM soon, they will be tested and supported to allow customers to continue using, but there's no plans for any ongoing functional development, etc., within the system as well. So all 3 products have Sage 200 form launching, as you'd expect, using the standard Sage 200 installed form launching tool. There is actually ability within Qnect 200 to extend that out very easily. We've written our own form launching sort of file that allows you to quickly create new form launch buttons and even link them to custom forms as well. We use the Sage 200 API and the Sage CRM web services to connect between the 2 products. So with our integration, you can upgrade 200 and you can upgrade CRM completely independently of one another. And unless Sage do some major change to any of the particular things, they will continue to work as you'd expect with those different versions. And we've had people upgrading CRM without telling us on Qnect 200, and that's worked completely fine. We do test on pre-release versions just to make sure, but we haven't actually experienced any issues to date. So that should be completely independent upgrading. Because we use the Sage 200 API, Sage Qnect 200 also works with Sage 200 Standard. So for those of you that do sell 200 Standard or maybe attended the Sage session this morning around Sage 200 Standard, Sage CRM works directly with Sage 200 Standard, and it's very easy to integrate. It's much easier to integrate than the online version, and you can literally have a system up and running within 15-20 minutes, all integrated. Obviously, just waiting for the sync to run. Finally, we've actually written a migration tool that allows you to migrate from integrated CRM or connected CRM up to Qnect 200. Currently in sort of beta test, we're doing hand-holding exercises effectively with partners. So if you have a customer that wants to migrate onto our Qnect 200 platform, they can do so, and we will do part of that migration process with you, partly to skill you up on how to do the migrations, and partly so that we can help manage if there are any issues with data and stuff like that that may or may not occur. Great, so very quick whistle-stop tour. I'm just going to open up the question section as well, just in case anyone wanted to ask any questions. So we've got probably got a couple of minutes that we can spend now just answering any questions if anyone has any. So I've got my first question. Does the customer sync allow you to exclude dead customers, e.g. customers with the name do not use, which are common in legacy converted ERP systems? The answer is not at the moment, although that's a good point. One of the benefits of our ongoing development is that we work quite closely with partners on new features, etc. So there's no reason why we couldn't build a filter in on a box that says if the company name has this, if not. The other option, I think, is if you hide companies from the 200 UI, it doesn't come across as well. But I would need to double check that. So I can get back to you on that one. Expand that out a little bit. Just another quick question, is there a migration tool from Integrated to Qnect? Yes, there is. Integrated CRM to Qnect is harder because it has more data, but yes, we do actually have a migration tool from the Integrated CRM to Qnect. The Connected CRM is obviously a lot easier to migrate because it has less actual data that sits within Sage 200. Let me just scroll this down so I can see this a bit more. Just in answer to a question from John, would it be better to filter? Would it be better filter to not synchronize based on the customer status equals hidden equal do not use? Yeah, I just sort of venture that might be a good idea, but I would need to check with the API people, etc., to see whether or not they're actually shown or whether that status is actually exposed by the API or not. But I would suggest that's a very good question. So I think that's all of the questions for now. Obviously, we ought to have one more come in, but one of the main issues we've had with quotes and orders is the time it takes to enter line items. Is there a plan to develop rapid item entry screen or use CRM together? Yes, you could use the CRM together as one, absolutely. We do that on demos sometimes as well. Cumulus, we also have 2 or 3 different rapid item entry screens that have drag or drop reordering and tab entries. So we are considering bundling one of those into the Qnect 200 product as a free of charge add-on. So we've taken this time over this downtime period to actually develop stuff like that. So you may hear soon that we've got 4 or 5 new bits of functionality out of it. One of those is that we've completely rewritten the whole of we completely created a whole new MailChimp integration, which allows you to do multi-staged automated marketing campaigns. If a load of people click one of the links, you can automatically a week later send them an email without having to set anything else up. You can pre-launch that. Can you launch your own screens? Yes, you can. So as long as you've actually extended those or added those screens into the form launcher via the XML and stuff like that you do to create new screens, then yes, you can launch those screens within our form launching JavaScript file that we've written. All you need to do is put in one line, and one of those sections is the form ID, and then that will launch your own forms. Great. Okay. Obviously, please feel free to contact Cumulus directly on this. This is an ongoing a product development that we're working tightly on with Sage. We have it's all on the Sage ISV portal. So let's quickly on to the next slide. Just look at the future plans. It is the Sage's preferred choice now, and you purchase this via the ISV marketplace at the moment. So you actually purchase the software now directly off Sage. And as mentioned, it's constantly being developed. We have people working on this on a weekly basis, almost every day, but not every single day sometimes. And a lot of the issues, a lot of the requirements and new bits of features that we're putting in are specifically based on partners and customers' requirements and feedback. As long as the API can create it and show it as data, we can get the CRM system to use it. We just need to make sure that any of those changes we make are generic and can be toggled on via checkboxes or drop downs, etc. But if it's available via the API and it's a generic-ish type bit of functionality, we'll build that into the product free of charge, and the customer that requested it will get it on an early release, and then everyone else will get that built in on the next full release. Brilliant. Right, thanks everyone for your time. Hope you enjoyed this brief session. Obviously, please contact us, as I say, directly if you have any further questions. And I'll finish off there. So thanks for your time, and hope to see you on some of the other sessions a bit later on in the day.